afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us here today at the corner of Sunset Boulevard and Beverly Glen. We're standing here because tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., construction crews will begin working in the middle lane of Sunset Boulevard, and they will continue to work heading west for the next year. We need this to be something that's on the public's mind, just like we did with Carmageddon, where we expected the 405 to back up for miles, but because the public cooperated and stayed away, everything actually worked out pretty normally. And we are hoping this will be Carmageddon too. So we want to let everybody know for the next year, between Beverly Glen heading west to the 405, we will often be down to one lane in either direction. So the message is between 9 a.m. and 3:30 every day during the week and 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturday, stay the hell away from Sunset Boulevard. Don't come anywhere near Sunset Boulevard unless you absolutely have to use it. So things then won't back up and won't be a disaster. There's a reason for this. We needed this project to do a major DWP electrical upgrade. This hasn't been done since the 1930s, and we've had power outages, we've had increased demand that leads to it, and so there's never a convenient time for construction, but we had to begin this. This will be going until summer of 2020. So everybody needs to know and cooperate with us. We've worked well together with a number of departments, from the implementation of traffic control officers to communications operations between public safety and agencies and work crews. We've been able to gear up and get prepared. And I want to take a minute to thank LAFD Department Chief Armando Hogan, LAPD Commander Michael Rimkunas, my apologies if I mangled your name, LAFD Battalion Chief Percy Jones, LAPD Captains Vic Davalos and Elaine Morales, and they all jumped into the huddle with our office to put together a public safety strategy plan, and they're here to answer any questions you might have about public safety. A lot of departments have been involved in this planning, from the Department of Transportation, who are allocating traffic officers, the Bureau of Street Services, who are working with us on expediting street repairs, sanitation, who are adjusting street pickup so that they don't cause unnecessary congestion, emergency management department, along with LAPD and LAFD on emergency communications mitigations for emergency vehicle movement during this construction time. And finally, I want to thank DWP for their partnership and cooperation with my office and with coordinated departments. Also, we've asked LADWP to set up a project hotline, which will be available 24/7, and I'm going to give you that number. It's 213-367-6045. Once again, 213-367-6045. For any kind of hotline emergency needs, that's the number to call. Again, whether you live by this area or whether this is part of your usual commute, I want to thank you for your patience and support. And once again, on the west end of Sunset Boulevard, stay the hell away for the next year. Thank you. Next, I would like to invite Nicky Miner, Vice President of Bel Air Beverly Crest Neighborhood Council, to say a few words.
Thank you, Council Member. Thank you, everybody. I represent the community involved here, and I want to tell you it's not going to be bad at all. It's going to be great. We have crews here that are working on it from the city that are excellent, top-notch gold crews. And we experienced their work before in Benedict Canyon. It was done so seamlessly, we didn't even know anything was happening. And I assure you that everyone involved in this project is mindful of the community, mindful of the commuters, and will do an excellent job in ironing out any little glitches at the beginning, during, or throughout the project. You have nothing to worry about. Everything's going to be fine. The glass is half full. And I want to thank the city again for undertaking this absolutely immense, enormous, much-needed project. They've been working on overcapacity in this area for the electricity for a long time. It's been terrible, and it can be dangerous, so we're very happy it's going to happen. For us who have to use Sunset, for us who don't want to use Sunset, for us who've never been on Sunset, it's going to be great. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Nikki. And now I'd like to ask Eric Hartman, DWP's Power System Engineering Manager, to say a few words as well. Give us some of the details.
Thank you, Council Member. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Council Member, for your continued support as we implement our power reliability projects, particularly in this area. We appreciate working together with you and your staff to continue to improve the power reliability for our customers as well as your constituents and those who are visiting this area, as far as helping to mitigate the traffic and the effects of the work that we must do and be able to accommodate everything that's going on. Also, to thank you to Chief Hogan and Chief Jones for the Los Angeles Fire Department for hosting us here. You've been critical as helping us plan this project and move this project forward. As you know, LADWP continues to try to upgrade our services, both water and power, on all sides of the operation as part of our increase in rates that we have done back in 2016. These upgrades will continue throughout the city, but this area is perhaps prone to probably more intense fervor because of the amount of visitors you get to this neighborhood. So we're very mindful of that. This project will also serve the communities of Greater Bel Air as well as Beverly Class, Northern Westwood, and Homely Hills. The circuits that we're doing are currently about 20% over capacity, and we know that this can't continue, and we need to improve the reliability here. So we're trying to help improve that for the greater area. We're installing 4 new circuits in this neighborhood. About 27,000 feet of new cable will be installed. Of course, this is also a major undertaking that will come with some inconvenience to the local area residents, and we are aware of that. We're working very closely with LADWP as well as traffic safety folks to try to make sure that the traffic still moves as smoothly as possible. We have electronic signage. Maybe you've even seen some of it as you drove into this site here today. There'll be several of those set up and down the Sunset Boulevard. As you probably know, projects like this don't happen without a great deal of planning, discussion, and even haggling at times. But through it all, we've managed to get the job done, and it's because we never lose our focus on our customers. Again, none of this would be possible without a great working relationship with Councilmember Koretz and his staff, as well as the LA Fire Department. I also want to thank LA Police Department, the Los Angeles Department of Transportation, as well as the Department of Public Works and Bureau of Street Services and Emergency Management Department. With their cooperation, we'll be able to create public safety response plans that have been deployed and will be available throughout the project as we move forward. I also want to get a quick shout out to our folks at LA Water and Power, in particular Walter Rodriguez and his staff in managing this project. As you know, this project will begin work tomorrow, so there'll be quite a bit of disruption, but hopefully everybody can, as Councilmember Koretz said, stay the heck away, and we hope that we'll be able to keep things moving. Thank you all for coming.
And now we'd be happy to take any questions, and if any of the folks answering haven't already introduced themselves, please introduce yourself before you answer the question.
Quite a bit of disruption. Can you just kind of spell out what that would look like? What will quite a bit of disruption?
So, anybody want to
So here, I'll go ahead and field that. So the work will begin roughly at the 405 and Sunset Boulevard. We'll be closing down 2 lanes basically in the center of Sunset, but lanes will be open on both sides along the curb line, so there will be traffic flow. But anytime anything happens out in the street, it's going to cause some traffic impact. So that will occur, but it's about 2,000 feet roughly that we'll be taking up. So it'll be a little ways, and we'll just continue working our way east. Roughly, yes. The message is be patient, I believe, and if you can avoid it, don't come through here and find an alternate route. We're trying to time this major piece of this work to avoid what's UCLA's fall semester and try to get away from impacting those folks that will be moving in September. So this is probably the most ideal time for us to go ahead and jump in, take on this work, and then get out of the way. Did you want to respond to the wildfire question? Yes.
I'm sorry, repeat your question again? First of all, let me tell you, my name is Armando Hogan, spelled A-R-M-A-N-D-O, last name Hogan, H-O-G-A-N. I'm the Deputy Chief in charge of Operations West Bureau for the Los Angeles Fire Department. Now, to address your question, absolutely. And we have a great opportunity here to capitalize on what we've done before. Previously up on Benedict Canyon Road, we had a similar situation taking place where they were installing hydrants, and we are using that same blueprint. And what we'll do is have people strategically placed in and around the area working, where they'll have internal communications as well as external communications. Our Metro Dispatch, along with LAPD, will be in continual contact. Our resources that are nearby will be able to traverse the area. We'll reach out to them early to make sure that they're aware that they know we've got a response coming in this particular area. So now, do we expect some delays because of the traffic? Sure we do. But for the most part, we're putting in every mechanism we can to continue to provide safety. And I want you to remember this too. We gauge everything on weather. So we get the weather the day before. So if we have some of those predictors that potentially may cause a challenge for us, then we'll look at some contingency plans as it relates to that. But other than that, sir, we're going to keep everybody safe.
Any other questions? And I have to say, to follow up on what was just said, during the Skirball Bel Air fire, that wasn't as disastrous as it could have been by all rights, because it was planned to be a very severe day. It was predicted to be, and the fire department actually planned for a fire on that day. So they were able to respond knowing what the weather conditions were, and the damage was minor compared to some other terrible fires that took place in California. We believe with that kind of planning, we can assure that this does not disrupt our emergency response in any way. Any other questions? If not, we'll all be available individually for a little while to chat. Thank you very much.